The auto industry has been a backbone of Missouri's economy and a source of good-paying jobs for hardworking Missourians like Nikki Mulberg.
I don't know that too many little girls grow up saying, I wanna put parts on cars. You know, life happens. I have my kids young.
But after 6 years of turning in an application to the Wentzville GM plant, the mother of three's luck turned a corner when she got the job.
It changed everything we got to do. My husband got to go back to working one job, and he got to play golf, and he got to be with the kids and coach basketball.
And for Jamel Howard, a job with GM meant that he had a shot at a better life.
When I got here through an uncle of mine, I looked at his lifestyle, the way he was living with the big houses, nice cars and everything, you know, with the pensions and great benefits and everything and the money. I love it.
For others, rather than a matter of circumstance, working in the auto industry was in their blood.
I grew up with it. I saw it every day. My dad would take me into the assembly plants when I was young.
And as an adult, Kevin Kaluzniak made that plant his home when he took a job with Ford's Clay Como plant in 1995.
Ford's been good to me, he's been good to my family and all the generations of my family.
In fact, Missourians have been making automobiles for generations, since 1897. And with a central location and a workforce second to none, Missouri's auto industry grew quickly. At the height of the auto industry, the Big Three were producing hundreds of thousands of vehicles a year, providing jobs to more than 20,000 auto workers, and an additional 20,000 plus jobs to men and women who worked for the supplier companies across the state. Mark Berryman works for Allied Systems, a car hauling company down the street from the Clay Como Ford plant.
This plant's one of the largest in the world, and it employs a lot of people other than the people that work at the plant.
And for years, Mike Puckett says Lear Corporation has been supplying car seats for the Savannah van, made by the GM plant in Wentzville.
In a day, we build about close to 900 front seats and then about 250 rear seats. It equates to right around 250,000 seats over a year.
But at the turn of the century, initial tremors of an industry-wide disruption began to shake the auto industry at its core. The global recession prompted a worldwide decline in automobile sales. Slumping sales led to a reduction in productivity. Ford announced its plan to cease all manufacturing in Hazelwood, which ultimately led to the plant closing its doors in 2006 and laying off more than 2,500 auto assembly workers. A study found that the loss of these jobs had a domino effect and caused 11,377 other people throughout the metropolitan area to lose their jobs for a total loss of $543 million in income. This was followed by the closing of the St. Louis Chrysler South Assembly plant in 2009, laying off 6,365 workers. News began to hit the assembly line that GM was next.
I think about 2 weeks prior to the layoff, they started asking for our IDs, literally, and just basically sending people home left and right. And the lights were going down lower. No toilet paper in the bathrooms, even.
For single mother of four, Shara Houlihan, the news became real when she was told to look for another job, along with the 900 other GM workers whose shift was cut. Telling her children was the hardest part.
They were so used to having food, and the electric bill was paid, and new shoes, things that are not even necessities, just even the wants. You know, they were used to that, and then I had to say, you're gonna have to wait till next month.
When Ford and Hazelwood, both Chrysler plants, and GM in Wentzville were at full production, they churned out 625,000 cars and trucks per year. Today, 60% fewer vehicles are assembled in our state, and fewer parts are needed.
We basically cut our workforce in half.
A cut the entire community began to feel.
Well, I know a lot of people that work in the automotive sector live in Wentzville or live in St. Charles County, and you know, less meals going out, less money spent at the grocery store, less money spent on your children.
For others, losing the job was not an option, even if it meant being away from family.
They said, you have to go to Fairfax to keep your job. So my husband's job doesn't transfer. He works for Tyson. and our daughter was a junior in high school, so we chose to let my husband and my daughter stay here, and I found a small place in Kansas City and went to Fairfax for 2 years.
Despite these global challenges, many Missouri workers made a pact to stay for the long haul.
So I had this hope, and about every 3 months you'd hear almost a rumor, hey, I think they're going to call you back.
Back in 2009, we were scared. We knew the next generation vehicles were going to be built somewhere, but we didn't know where. We needed to be built in Missouri, and we needed leadership, and thankfully we got Jay Nixon.
Jay Nixon was sworn in as Missouri's 55th governor in January of 2009. In his first full day of office, he signed an executive order establishing a team assigned to develop strategies to create jobs and bring next-generation vehicle production to the state of Missouri.
Giving up on Missouri's auto industry is not an option. That's why I've ordered the creation of an automotive jobs task force to make sure that we're in the best possible position to revitalize the automobile industry in Missouri. In the years to come, America will produce a new generation of automobiles. We must ensure that these new cars and trucks are built right here in Missouri.
The task force delivered its first report to Governor Nixon later that year. During that same time, we knew Ford was making decisions and that Clegg-Como was on the line. Over the course of the next several months, Governor Nixon and his economic development team worked closely with the leadership at Ford and GM, including face-to-face meetings in Detroit with CEOs Alan Mulally and Dan Ackerson, to develop a plan that would keep the two industry giants in Missouri for generations to come. The result was the Missouri Manufacturing Jobs Act.
Our governor called a special session to pass the Missouri Manufacturing Act. It was a game changer for us and a turning point for the automotive industry in Missouri.
In January of 2011, Ford initially announced it would be investing $400 million in our Clegg-Como plant, but that was quickly overshadowed.
In total, we're going to invest $1.1 billion, that's with a B, in the Kansas City assembly plant, and that's $700 million more than we just announced a little earlier this year.
It says the state of Missouri has got the best workforce in the United States and in the world.
A type of investment like that speaks volumes of really, the type of faith that Ford itself has in this community and the state itself to say, we're going to settle here, we're going to do this for the long haul, not just short term.
And a few weeks later, GM made their announcement and commitment to Missouri.
I'm pleased to announce that General Motors will invest $380 million in Wentzville. And Wentzville Assembly will be the new home of the Chevrolet Colorado.
1,660 Missouri jobs, on top of the 1,400 folks already employed right here.
GM's new pickup truck and Ford's new transit van will be made in Missouri and sold in America for the very first time. But that is not the only thing being built in Missouri.
It's the light at the end of the tunnel, period. I mean, it's our future.
A future that would also be shared by suppliers like Allied Systems and Lear Corporation.
I can tell you that we are planning on adding a second shift after the first of the year, and there will be additional employment at Lear.
It is about making sure our families and neighbors have job opportunities out there. Nixon's really done an amazing job working with us. I think he's fought amazing for us.
The rebirth of the American auto industry begins at this moment in time. And let me be totally clear, it is no accident that it starts in Missouri.
Many people thought that the industry couldn't be saved, that these jobs would be forever lost to the foreign auto companies or the foreign auto workers. But Jay Nixon, he over-delivered on his promise to the industry.
And by working together, making sure every piece was put together just right, Missouri workers, union members, leaders of our state, and the auto companies prevailed and saved these jobs and created new ones. Do you think the assembly line is symbolic for what took place here?
Absolutely. It's all symbolic because, again, we're all working as a team, not just as friends. We're working to keep each other working.
And the new, stronger assembly line welcomes back both new friends like Jermel Howard.
I was here, an hour early to work every day. Trying to make sure I get in, make sure I show good, showing them that I'm here for them, you know, as well as they are for me.
And old friends like Nikki Mulberg.
I was glad I got to have a job, but boy am I glad to be home because of this job. I didn't have to get my daughter's prom dresses off the sale rack. And when my oldest daughter came to us and said, Mom, I'm getting married, we got to give it away.
Not just this town, not just this state, but this country have made in America, made in Missouri mean something again. Because I know we get up earlier, we stay later, and we compete.
And we believe in what we make.
And I just seen that truck and I love that truck. I want to get one myself.
I work here, I live here, I'm buying here.
I'm very proud of my F-150.
I got to buy my first brand new car when I was 36 years old.
And it's a Chevy?
You bet it is. Nothing but in my garage.
That means we're going forward and we're not going backwards. That means so much. The legacy still continuing, we're still here.
For generations, Missouri workers have led the way with their heads, their hands, and their hearts. Missouri workers have always kept America moving forward. Today, Missouri's auto workers are once again leading the way for our state, for our country, and the world. This is our moment. Together, we will make the most of it.